Welcome into Running Better, episode 2. We had a killer weekend of massive profit, about $2,900. Our picks were dialed in from our luck boxes, and today we get to choose a whole new set as three friends, two strangers, in one epic mission to building the ultimate 8-leg parlay.
So speaking of this epic 8-game parlay, it was our first ever show last week, and we nearly did it.
It was close.
Nearly.
It was close. 6 of 8. 6 of 8. Yeah.
We missed the Broncos, and I
we-
was privately texting Tana being like, fuck the Broncos. And I was so mad. But then we missed the Jefferson TD at the end, which made, for some reason, missing one leg of a parlay really hurts. Missing two legs, you're like, even if one of them hit, the other one wasn't hitting anyways. It makes it feel, it's like, it takes the sting
That's the best
out.
loss.
Yeah, the
That's
best loss
I
is two
think.
whiffs.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Absolutely.
case
That's a great
scenario.
point. So we missed the 8-game parlay, but we did hit one of the 4 games, right?
We did.
Yes.
That's right. We did. We hit Showcase A, which was Team Tyson and Carmen, which is always a nice thing to have. I mean, any parlay that you hit, 4-game, 8-game. I mean, obviously the 8-game was 22K, or actually 28,000, something like
Yes,
that.
28.
The 4-game one a little bit lighter, but hey, we'll take profit. You know, it was $1,700 in the bankroll for us. So I think this week, we're all in agreement that we want to go a little bit bigger. Is that the consensus?
The bigger the better. That's what I always say. I've said that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm
Guys,
pretty
here.
sure that's the first time I've ever heard you say that.
Here you go. That's my arm. Twist it. Go ahead. Ow! We are doing the absolute best type and most responsible sort of gambling this week. We are betting with house money.
That's right. You can't lose. It's a nice little free roll. And if you guys are at home and we want to know if you're betting with us or against us, either way, we want to hear from you and we want to know what you like about the show and where you think our money should be placed.
Look, I mean, we set out to show how lucky we are, and we've been pretty lucky in the first week here. I mean, what I was getting at here is that Tyson's profit, $23.80. How much was mine? What was my profit? $30. We're on the board.
Yeah.
A win is a win. So
So-
the good news is, one, that I don't have to send you any more money this week for making new bets, right? We're like rolled for a little while now, correct?
Well, here's my thoughts, because there's going to be less games this week and even less games the next week and then less next week. I say we double down and we go $200 per leg this week.
Also want to announce that, so Carmen won $1,000
Yes.
for being your luck box last week.
Yes, Carmen is
Awesome.
feeling great, and I bet Carmen is addicted to sports betting now, and if she's not, she should be, because, you know, if this is her first foray into it and she smashed it this hard, come on.
I do want to say that this is my first time ever sports betting in my entire life. So to have eked out a $30 profit, I know it's not super impressive, but I'm happy, and I'm happy with us as a team, running Bettor. We're doing great. Before we get too deep in today's stuff, did you guys see that news story about like the guys giving picks and they just send out 500,000 of like an email saying to pick one team, and then 500,000 of an email saying to pick another team, so they can just tell everyone
They're
that
right
Yeah.
half the time. They're right
Yeah.
with half of their audience. Oh my God, that
Yeah.
is devious. We only record one session of this show, to be clear. And we've always only recorded one session of this show per football week. It's not like we do 2 recordings and then release the one that does better.
we
No.
do one recording, but it does happen on Tuesday morning after all the games have been played. We
Yes.
we just get the results and and do it after.
I mean,
We
yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, I think it's one of those systems that's been around for a while, but it's now kind of getting outed there in the social platforms. And yeah, I mean, just be careful out there when you're betting. You know, bet with people you trust and follow people you trust. And at the end of the day, right?
And also know it's just for fun.
There you go. Yes.
Nobody knows what they're talking about. If they did, they wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch the games with some money on the line. Spencer, we did have a question from a listener or a viewer. They're asking about the money line versus the spread, or the points. So money line is the outright winner of the game. The points or the spread, you don't necessarily have to win the game to beat the spread. If the Broncos are the underdogs by 8 points and they come within 8 points in the end of the game, then they've won the spread. So that's where we go. So if
And
there's
the important thing to remember here is that if you pick the spread, you win a 1-to-1 on your bet. You bet a unit and you win two, you give them a unit and they give you 2 units back if you win. if you take the money line, you might win a little bit more than you put in, or a little bit less,
depending on which side you go.
Right.
If you choose the favorite to win the game, you're going to get less than 1-1. So with the underdogs, if you're going to choose the underdog to win the spread, and the spread is only 2 points or 3 points, you may as well go money line, in my opinion, and just win a little bit more.
So guys, without any further delays, let's get into the meat of this, right? The process. How do we make the picks? How do we determine who's going to win and who's going to lose? And the best way we've come up with is inviting people we like or have some sort of connection to or don't even know to come gamble our own money. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome in Jay Flats and Chad Holloway, our 2 luck boxes for today's show. Go ahead, guys. Give them a quick intro. Let us know about who your luck box is for today.
Who is my luck box? Am I getting who's better at football picks? I feel like I need the better.
And who's my luck box?
Yeah, do we assign luck boxes? Yeah,
no, we didn't.
You know what? I've known Jay Flats for over 20 years at this point.
Fine, I'll
if
take
you guys
Jay.
don't mind.
I'm a pretty lucky luck box.
Were you
All right,
going to
so-
give Jay to me? Is that what you were saying?
That's it. Yeah, I was going to a whole spiel about how much I love him and I like him and how talented he is and how he's the world's premier warm-up comic, and he worked with Kelly Clarkson and on America's Got Talent and all kinds of massive shows as the audience warm-up comic. And then I was going to give him to you, Tyson. That's right.
I'll have Jay. That's fine.
Jay, what have you got to Jay? What we were asking people last week is, what makes you lucky? Give us something about you that is just shows how indescribably lucky you are.
I went to community college for 2 weeks total, and somehow I've managed to make over 6 figures multiple times. I'm just lucky.
Lucky.
6 figures multiple times in one paycheck, or per year, or month, or what are we? Okay.
I took a very ragtag entertainment career, and I've been bumping it for 25 years as a really uneducated, very lucky young man. I'm in the right place at the right time.
Big respect.
Nice. That's
Jay.
what we love to hear.
What I've learned about your show, this show, it's like the Costanza effect. Whatever Joe's gonna do, I'm gonna just do the.
Yeah, that's why you're with me, Jay. That's why you're with me.
Well, Chad, you are my luck box. You have been in the poker media for, I want to say, damn near close to 20 years. You're a World Series of Poker bracelet winner. And as far as I know, I don't know your exact title right now, but you're pretty high up at the old Poker News, aren't you?
We got some things in common, right, Joe? The poker stuff, of course, but you just did your comic book. You know I'm a comic book guy and have done a poker comic book myself, so we got that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chad, how is your, tell me something lucky about you.
I mean, I think you just mentioned it. I won a World Series of Poker gold bracelet, and you don't win one of those very often, and probably once in a lifetime, and you have to get lucky to get there. So that was certainly very lucky on my part.
And you're not wearing it like right now, or like it's not. When do you put it on?
Charity events. I'll break
Just
it
a
out for a
shower.
charity event, or at a home game. I'll slip it on my wrist during a home
I
game
sleep in it.
until somebody notices.
And then what? Once they notice it, you take it off?
Oh no, then you just rub it in their face a little bit, jingle it around, make sure they know who bought the boss is.
Okay. Is it real gold?
It is real gold. At least mine was, but this is 2013. This is when Jason of
Gold was-
Beverly Hills. So Jason of Beverly Hills designed it, and they also designed the Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl ring. Same guys. So
All right.
Dang.
I'm a little disappointed that Stapleton didn't mention the 2 bracelets I got last year at the Taylor Swift concert.
You got 2 of them? Backstage and VIP?
He told you he pulls down more than 6 figures. He can afford to go to a Taylor fucking Swift concert.
Dude, it was a good year last year for Jay. So one of the 2 years that he 6-figured was last year. We know
Actually,
that much.
Speaking of luck, too, by the way, if I remember correctly, Jay and I did a show at Thunder Valley with Tana. Tana hired us to come up to Thunder Valley to do a show. Jay, a hot girl, was walking by the showroom. She didn't even see the show. And he was like, hey, I'm a stand-up comic. Want to hang out? And he ended up going to the Taylor Swift concert with her the next day, right?
No,
That is a luck box.
2 weeks later, she goes, I'm flying to LA. Do you want to go to Taylor Swift? And I said, absolutely.
Wow. And you got 2 bracelets from that.
2 bracelets and 4 STDs.
And no ankle bracelet. So we're good. We're good.
Wow. I hope you haven't peaked, Jay, because we need you today still. But like, if that was your peak, also like pretty impressive.
Before we get to today's heat check, it's going to be a surprise to me, whatever it is. I do want to say I'm here at the Horseshoe Blackhawk right now in Colorado.
Love that hotel.
Weird little town in Colorado. It's just like 5 casinos off the side of the road, and I do have in my hand a slot ticket for $961. Now I'm in for about $3,000, however. So if we wanna base the heat check right now, I'm willing to just give it to Tyson because I got fucking buried last night. Someone's holding a machine for me right now. I got to get back. There's one machine I know it's about to pop. They're holding it, so we got to wrap this up quick today.
Let's hurry. Let's hurry.
Now, today's heat check actually was designed for all the poker players that are watching out. For this weekend's pick is called Lauden Thinks, where we're actually
Oh, sure. All right, I can play Lauden Thinks. All right.
I don't know what this is.
Lauden Thinks.
Oh, this is perfect. So actually, Joe, you might have an advantage this time around. Lauden Thinks is the fun sport of predicting what somebody else will say. Not the right answer, just what they'll say. So I'm going to ask a question to Tyson and Joe, and I want you to predict what your luck box will say. All right, here's the question, guys. I'm going to ask your luck boxes with a straight face, no influencing, no basically putting any sort of facial expressions on the camera to influence their decision. But you can't influence any of the action. We're going to ask each of your luck boxes how many bags of popcorn are sold in an NFL season.
Jay, if you can see me.
And the person closest to their luck box's answer will win the heat check challenge.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Right.
All right, so go ahead, guys. If you guys want to go ahead and write or type in your phone or hold it up to the screen.
How many teams are in the NFL?
Oh, good.
32.
32.
32. I knew that. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
All right, so type.
That's
Tyson, we need an exact number.
No, this is what Jay's writing.
That's what you think he's gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem is that we can't actually quantify how far.
But if he nails it, he nails it.
If this is his answer, it's his answer.
If that's his answer, it's his answer.
All right, fine. Well, I guess we'll allow it. So that if that's his answer, that's his answer.
If it's not his answer, then I've completely misread Jay. If this is not his answer, I've completely misread him.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, let's see what we got for you. This is what you're guessing your luck box Chad will say for how many bags of popcorn are sold in an NFL season.
Okay, do you want to know my math or do you just want the answer?
We just want the answer.
Okay, I'm going to give you my math. There's 16 games times 32 teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's 18 games, but okay, keep going.
Okay, fine, whatever. I did a little Common Core math here to figure out what 16 times 32 is. That's 312 games. At first, it'd be 10,000 bags of popcorn per game. Then I thought that was a little high, so I cut that in half. So I went from 3.1 million bags of popcorn sold every season, cut it in half, 1.65 million bags of popcorn sold every season in the NFL.
But when there's a game, the two teams play at the same stadium. You don't.
Tyson, I don't need to get bogged down in the math and the details of this. I'm not a mathematician. I'm just a lucky dude.
18 games and then you double it because there's two teams.
That's right. Both teams' fans are buying popcorn, Tyson.
Okay.
I mean,
understanding about this.
When my team's on the road, I go to the stadium. I buy a bag of popcorn to take home and watch.
Oh, you go to your home stadium?
Yeah, so that makes sense.
The thing is, all I have to do is come closer than 6 figures. So I kind of like my chances here.
I'm nailing it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and bring our luck boxes back in. We'll get their answer, and then we can decide who is going to win this week's Heat Challenge. All right, guys. So we have a fun one. I'm not gonna lie. This is there's a lot of thought and analysis that went down. If you guys aren't familiar, once again, for everyone watching at home, we are playing Lauden Thinks, where the name of the game is to predict what the person will say, not the actual answer. So, without further ado, do you guys have a pen and paper on you?
We're ready.
All right. So today's Heat Check Challenge of Lauden Thinks. The question is, how many bags of popcorn are sold in an NFL season?
That's a good question.
Yes, I like that Jay's not putting much thought into it. Perfect.
Chad, this is not signaling. I just want to connect with Chad. Look at me. Look at me,
Guys,
Chad.
we went over the rules.
Look at me. No, it's not a signal. I just want him to look at me. I just want him to connect with me deeply.
Jay, don't look at them.
That's not cheating. That's just having a connection.
Don't look at them, Jay. Look at me.
Are they ready?
I'm right
Are
here,
they ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Luck boxes, go ahead and show us your answers for how many bags of popcorn are sold in an NFL season. 8.5
Baby.
million from Chad and 20 million from Jay. I'm going to go ahead and assume that 20 million has more than six figures. So today's winner of our heat check challenge.
Well, hold on. They don't know what we answered.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, yeah.
Tyson answered six figure.
Joe answered.
Jay, it's a callback.
And
It's
Chad-
a classic comedian trick, buddy.
He gets it, I think.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Guess what? Guess what, Chad?
What's
I guess
that?
1.65 million, which is not close to your answer, but closer
Closer. That's all that
Then-
counts, right?
than
So
Tyson
then
was.
999,000 is to 20 million.
That's correct. Yes, but it doesn't matter. So I'm the winner. I get the heat check challenge, Chad. That means you're going to go first. You are going to pick, you're going to have your first right of refusal of which showcase you want to bet my money on.
All right, guys, this is the fun stage of our show today. We're going to be choosing our picks with a Showcase A and a Showcase B, specifically designed to make us money. Now, because Joe and Chad won the Heat Check Challenge in our Lawden Thinks competition, they will get first pick of whether they'd like to put their expertise to Showcase A and Showcase B. And earlier in the show, I think as a team, we all decided because we are free rolling from last week's profits, we are going to be upping our bets to $200 of units and our double down to $300.
We're playing
So-
with house money now. They're so mad at us. They're furious.
I can't
The
wait to get
sports-
cut off. It's going to be great. And by the way, if you guys have been following, we came extremely close to smashing all 8 games. 6 of 8. We still made a nice hefty profit, but so close, it's always so bittersweet. But this week is going to be different as we are in the divisional rounds of the NFL. Showcase A, the Kansas City Chiefs at -8.5 versus the Houston Texans at +8.5, who upset the LA Chargers last week. The money line bet for that one is +350. If you're not familiar with gambling or sports betting, remember when it has a -8.5, that means they are the favorite, and it has +8.5, that means they are the underdog. So the Kansas City,
Kansas
I like
shits.
that. I like that Kansas shitty. Yeah, that's good.
So the Kansas City Chiefs have to win by 9 points for that bet to win. Now the Houston Texans can lose by 8 points and still win their bet. The money line is a straight bet of who wins, and of course, because the Texans are the underdog, the money line bet gives them a nice multiplier of +350. Showcase A also includes the Philadelphia Eagles at -6.5 versus the LA Rams at +6.5 with a money line of 240. And we have anytime touchdowns of Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Lions for -140 and an anytime touchdown by Josh Allen at +105. Now, Showcase B has a very different set of games with the Detroit Lions at -9.5, with the Washington Commanders at +9.5 with a money line of +400, and the Baltimore Ravens led by Lamar Jackson at -1 versus Josh Allen's team, Buffalo Bills at +1,
A dead
with a money
heat.
line of 100. And anytime touchdowns by our boy Kyron Williams, who sent us to the promised land last weekend with our 4-game parlay, and an anytime TD with Saquon Barkley at -180.
All right, Chad. Now, earlier, Tana said that you were going to be using your expertise to choose here. I only have one rule for you: no expertise.
No expertise. Well,
What do you like here, Chad? Showcase A or Showcase B?
I like a little bit of both, but I am going to go with Showcase A.
All right, and what makes you choose Showcase A?
Oh, I like the games there, the matchups between the two different teams a little bit more. I feel it's a little more predictable, if you will, than Showcase B. I think there's a lot of wild cards, if you will, not wild card teams, of course, but wild cards figuratively in Showcase B.
Okay, fair enough. Chad, I guess let's do it. Let's go through it. What are you betting my money on? What are you betting $200 per bet on?
$200 per bet. Well, I mean, I think Josh Allen is a cinch to get a anytime touchdown. As much as a Dolphins fan that I don't like Josh Allen, it's because of how good he is, and I think that one is almost a lock. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown I'm going to go with a touchdown. I think it could go either way, but I do think that game in particular is going to be a high-scoring affair. So with as many scores as there will be, I will say that he will get a touchdown. Look, I think the Chiefs are going to win. It's Arrowhead. It is January. They're tough to beat. That's where the Dolphins lost in the playoffs last year. However, I don't know if they're going to win by 8.5 points. I don't think they've scored 30 points in a single game all season long. The Texans have enough weapons to stay there. So I actually like the Texans at 8.5, even though I think they'll lose within that margin.
All right, great. And what about Eagles, Rams?
I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think the Rams are pretty hot right now, but they are traveling across the country into cold weather. There, of course, is a lot going on in LA, which I got to imagine is on the players' minds a little bit. And whereas the Eagles are just coming off a spanking of the Green Bay Packers. So I like the Eagles at -6.5.
All right, well, there you have it. There is Team Stapes bets. We're taking the Texans with the points. We're taking the Eagles also on the spread here. Are we taking money line Eagles?
I like them. I like them on the spread.
Okay, great. So we're taking the points in both cases, and obviously we are also making both anytime touchdown bets. I'm on Ross St. Brown and Josh Allen. Boom. There you go. Enjoy Showcase B, suckers.
Well, before we switch over to Showcase, we're going to quick question for Showcase A. You guys do get a double down bet. So instead of a $200 increment, you guys be betting $300 on the bet. So go ahead, Chad. What are you thinking? What are you most confident in?
Oh, I mean, the most confident bet of all those to me, as I said, is Josh Allen. So if you want to go for something for sure on a double down bet, go with Josh Allen, Stapes. That's my thinking.
Does that work for you, Tana? Is that part of the game? We can double down on the anytime TDs?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Wrap it up. I'm very confident in this.
Okay.
Great job. Great choices, Chad.
Just to recap, we have the Houston Texans at +8.5, the Philadelphia Eagles at -6.5, anytime touchdown by Amon-Ra St. Brown at -140, and a double down bet of anytime touchdown with Josh Allen. And as any good gambler does, we're going to also throw in a $100 parlay for these 4 legs.
Ooh.
200.
We're
Double
200,
down, baby.
All right. Well, house money plays $200 in the parlay bet as well.
All right, let's do it.
All right, go ahead, Team Tyson. You guys have Showcase B.
All right, Showcase B here. And to be clear, Jay, those anytime TDs are part of the package. It's a yes on those. We don't have to say yes or no. Chad fortunately said yes on both of them, but those are just like the tiebreakers at the end of our choices. So, Showcase B, Jay, Lions versus Commanders. Who do you like and why?
I love an underdog, so I want to go underdog here completely. The Washington Commanders have surprised everybody. That rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, is on fire.
Okay.
I'm a big underdog fan. I think the Lions are a great organization, but it's time for them to feel a little pain in the playoffs. Underdog, go with the Commanders on the money line.
On the money line? That pays out 4-1.
On the money line.
All right. On the money line. Wow.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Jay,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. I like to go big, or you go home.
Okay. It is easier to do when it's someone else's money. I agree. Okay. So we got, it's hard to say that with a straight face. The Commanders money line. What do you feel for the Ravens versus the Bills? What do you feel for the Ravens?
This is the spirit of the show, Tyson.
If it hits, then
Tyson,
yes. Then Jay, if it hits, I'm flying out to you, and I'm giving you one of those special massages that they do in Canada. What do you got between the Ravens and the Bills here, Jay? You sticking with the underdogs again?
This one's actually really tough. You have two MVP candidates, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Wait a second, but this is tougher than choosing the Commanders for the money line.
Absolutely.
Because there's a big reward on that one.
Jay knows something we don't know.
Yeah. I deflated some balls and know where they are, and I know when they're going to be played. So yes, the
wow.
Win. But the Ravens Bills is really tough because those two teams, I feel like their franchises deserve it. I remember in the 80s the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I don't know how tough that can be on you, but I'm going Buffalo money line.
I like that. I would have done the same with that one for sure. It's going to be a battle, though. I think that's going to be a sweaty game for us.
In Buffalo, right? If it's in Buffalo, I definitely give the advantage to Buffalo. And I would love to see one of those classic, 7 inches of snow is dumped right off the lake right before game time, and the fans have to shovel all the snow out, and then the Bills win it in a last-second field goal. Amazing!
I honestly, Jay, I'd be using this energy on the Commanders. I mean, that's what I would be doing here.
I feel like this might be the last good news out of Washington for a really long time. So come on.
Okay, we got this. The city needs this. Jay, who we doubling down on? You can choose the TDs, you can choose the games. Where are we putting our extra money?
I'm strictly basing this on something I saw at the end of a regular season game this year with Saquon Barkley. He's sitting on the bench. He is 17 yards away from his career rushing in a single game. And he's sitting on the bench talking to the coach, and the coach is like, I want you to get this record. And Saquon knows the game is out of reach. They've won the game. They don't need him to play. Should he break his own personal game record? Sure, but he looks at the coach and says, nah, let the other guys eat. I love that. That's very selfless. Saquon Barkley, double down on Barkley.
Got it. I like that. I support you in that.
Let him eat, Chad. Let him eat, Chad.
Let him eat. Man, the Commanders on the money line. Still, we called them last week. They upset last week, and we had them in our lineup. This week they go up against a much more formidable team, but the payout is also showing there.
The city of Detroit is used to disappointment. I actually can kind of get behind Jay on this one.
Wow.
We're just doing our best to justify the money line 400 bet.
Absolutely.
I love it. We're all about it. Hey, I can tell you one thing. We are the luckiest group of people ever to come on to a show to talk about sports betting. So,
okay, I'm going to plug these bets in for us. I'll get them in there soon.
So it sounds like we got the Washington Commanders at the money line plus 400. We got the Buffalo Bills at the money line for plus 100. Kyron Williams anytime TD, Saquon Barkley anytime TD, and a double down on that. So each increment is $200 in bets, and our double down is a $300 in the bet, and our 4-leg parlay is going to be $200 as well.
So all that's left to cover, I think, is the 8-game parlay. Should we just recap that real quick?
Yeah.
And there's going to be $200 as well.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
All right.
I can't imagine. Maybe Tyson, you want to go ahead and pop that in? We can just get a total of what we could win.
We are looking at $63,000 for a $200 bet. Won't let us use a profit boost because that only lets us do 100. I could try and do that.
LFG.
Guys, I'm gonna need you to put a 2 in front of this 9 here to get straight from last night.
Okay.
I'm gonna need 29,000.
Yeah,
that's not enough. Actually, that's not enough. I'm gonna need a 2 and a 0. My bad.
63,000 should be enough to cover that.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
So-
Chad, I love you. Jay, I love you.
All right. Well, with that's the second episode. We got a locked in 8-leg parlay, $63,000 on the line. We got some wild takes. I love the underdog story. Guys, thank you so much for being on here. Shout out to all our luck boxes. Jay, Chad, go ahead and throw your socials on there for everyone watching at home real quick for us.
I'm Chad Holloway. I'm on X at Chad A. Holloway, which is my middle initial. You can also catch me weekly on the Poker News podcast. Every Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, we drop a new episode.
I'm Jay Flats. You can follow me. I do everything on Instagram at JFlats, JAYFLATS. And what I learned today is my favorite new term, Kansas Shitty.
Before we get out of here, I do want to remind the audience, we want to hear from you. You saw we threw a little comment up there earlier from someone who watched us on YouTube. If you had bet with us last week, you would have been super profitable. I want to know who's betting with us this week and who's betting against us. Let us know.
I'm betting against us. Thanks, Chad and Jay, for taking time to help us hopefully become a little bit wealthier. Tana, as always, for running the show. Joe, for being my equal and probably better half in every way imaginable. Remember to gamble
responsibly.
Sure.
Yes.